Lorna Keane, Maple Hollow HOA president with a haircut shaped like a traffic cone, steps over my sleeping dog, clicks a ballpoint pen like it's a Geiger counter, and announces to my living room that this is a surprise inspection. I'm in the middle of a video call in my home office. She points at my bookshelf and declares it unapproved shelving. She points at my stove and calls my hanging kitchen towels combustible art. Then she opens my pantry and starts snapping photos of my canned beans like they're contraband. I'm Joel Rivas, and this is the moment I realize my quiet suburban life is about to become a legal nightmare for someone, and that someone isn't going to be me. I bought a modest brick ranch in Maple Hollow, Pineford, for the quiet and the lilacs. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a yard big enough for a grill and a dog. I work nights doing database security for a healthcare company, keep my blinds low, and talk to my lawn the way some people talk to plants. It's therapeutic. The grass doesn't talk back, doesn't judge, and doesn't fine me for existing. Lorna Keane noticed my quiet the way a hawk notices a mouse without a name tag. She's HOA royalty with a clipboard, a whistle, and an Instagram account called A Deeds and Needs where she posts blurry zoomed-in photos of people's trash cans with captions like sad. Her bio says community standards enthusiast and master gardener, though I've never seen her touch a shovel. She's decided the HOA can enter any home to maintain standards, a phrase I later learn is complete legal nonsense with no basis in contract law, property law, or basic human decency. But at this point, I don't know that yet. I just know she's in my house without permission, photographing my bean with bacon soup like it's evidence in a trial, and my dog is wagging his tail because she brought treats. Heart-shaped treats, I'll later discover, stamped with the word compliance. It starts small, the way tyranny always does. Sticky notes appear on my door. Fence 1/2 inch too tall, even though it's chain link and exactly regulation height according to the survey I had done when I moved in. Curtains must be eggshell not bone, except they're blinds and they're beige and I have the paint chip from the hardware store to prove it. I find a flyer taped to my mailbox announcing random interior checks coming soon. I email the board thinking surely someone will tell her this is insane. Surely someone will point out that home inspections require notice, consent, and a really good reason. They send back a PDF of Bylaw 11:domicile aesthetics that looks like it was written by someone who lost an argument to a thesaurus. It's 12 pages of words like comport and aesthetic harmony and residential continuity. Not one sentence about actually entering someone's home. A week later, my Ring camera catches Lorna measuring my welcome mat while muttering about trip hazards and sniffing my mulch while talking about chemical tones. The mulch is from Home Depot. It smells like wood. She mails me a $250 fine for unapproved wall color visible through windows at dusk. I have taupe walls and dignity. I call the management company. They tell me to submit a written appeal. I submit a written appeal with photos proving my walls are the exact color listed in the approved palette. They deny it. Reason given: subjective interpretation of lighting conditions. She escalates. She posts on Nextdoor under the username Lorna K_standards that I'm harboring a non-compliant interior layout. 3 neighbors I've never met comment with thumbs up emojis. She tells my neighbor Phil I'm running a Bitcoin mine because my office fan is loud. It's a $19 box fan named Carl. Phil asks if I can keep it down during his afternoon naps. I explain it's a fan. He says Lorna seems concerned. I say Lorna can be concerned on the other side of my property line. The fines keep coming. $75 for lawn furniture visible from street level. My lawn furniture is a single folding chair I use to drink coffee in the morning. $100 for decorative rocks that create visual discord. They're river rocks around a mailbox post. $50 for a hose that's forest green instead of hunter green. I didn't know hoses had a color code. Apparently in Maple Hollow, everything has a color code. I start documenting everything. Screenshots, videos, certified mail receipts. I'm a database guy. I know how to build a case. What I don't know yet is that Lorna is building something too, and it's way more illegal than my welcome mat. Tuesday at 11:12 in the morning. My dog barks once, then goes quiet. The trail camera in my hallway, the one I installed after the mulch sniffing incident, catches everything in glorious high definition. Lorna unlocks my back door with a key from a contractor lockbox she had installed on every house in the neighborhood for emergency landscaping, which is apparently her term for breaking and entering. The lockbox was sold to residents as a convenience for lawn crews and snow removal. Nobody voted on it. She just did it. She walks in with 2 board members, Margaret Chen and Bob Whitmore, and a handyman wearing a shirt that says Vince's Visual Inspections. They tour my home like it's a museum titled Things That Offend Lorna. She photographs my smoke detector and calls it incorrectly positioned even though it's exactly where the fire code requires it to be. She runs her finger along my baseboards looking for dust. She opens my bedroom dresser, which is a new level of unhinged, and writes non-compliant underwear storage on her clipboard. Bob looks uncomfortable. Margaret is taking notes. Vince is measuring the distance between my outlet covers. They move to my kitchen. She opens the fridge. She actually opens my refrigerator and photographs the interior, muttering about expired condiments. The mustard expires in 2 months. She writes it down anyway. Then she sees the small safe in my closet where I keep my documents, my passport, some cash, and the deed to my house, and she calls Pineford PD to report possible contraband. The dispatcher hears my alarm screech because I have motion sensors everywhere now. She hears Lorna say we're inside in that confident tone of someone who thinks rules are for other people, and she sends a cruiser. Vince, to his credit, whispers is this aloud while looking increasingly uncomfortable. Lorna's reply is immediate and dripping with authority. We're the HOA, she says, like those 3 letters are a magic spell that overrides the Constitution. Spoiler alert, they're not. Officer Breland arrives 6 minutes later. I meet him on my front step with the camera footage queued up on my phone. He watches Lorna prance through my dining room like a mall Santa inspecting the naughty list. He asks for her authorization. She produces Bylaw 11 with a pen flourish like she's signing the Declaration of Independence. He produces the actual state statute on criminal trespass. This isn't it, he says in that flat cop voice that means someone's about to have a very bad day. Lorna insists she's conducting an administrative search. He radios the city attorney. The city attorney radios the county housing compliance office. I email the video to my lawyer and Maple Hollow's management company. Within 2 hours, the county issues a cease and desist to the HOA for interior enforcement. The management company, a firm called Prestige Community Services, discovers that Lorna created a separate PayPal account for expedited compliance payments. Residents could pay an extra $50 to have violations reviewed faster. Except the reviews never happened and the money went straight to Lorna. Then the postal carrier, bless her gossipy heart, mentions that HOA fines have been arriving as money orders addressed to MH Standards LLC. Not Maple Hollow HOA. Not the management company. A private LLC that doesn't appear in any HOA financial records. The State Attorney General's Consumer Protection Unit hears the phrase unlicensed private security program, illegal lockbox scheme, and fee diversion, and suddenly my living room has more business cards than an insurance convention. An investigator named Patricia Gomez camps out at my dining room table for 3 days reviewing footage, documents, and financial records. She finds that Lorna has collected over $83,000 in fines over 18 months. Only $32,000 made it to the actual HOA accounts. The rest went to MH Standards LLC, which has expenses listed as consultant fees paid to Vince, office supplies that include a luxury treadmill desk, and travel to HOA conferences in Hawaii. Lorna, it turns out, hasn't just been power tripping. She's been running a profit center disguised as civic duty. Special meeting night arrives. The clubhouse smells like citrus cleaner and panic. Every seat is filled. People are standing against the walls. I recognize faces from next door, from the grocery store, from those awkward neighborhood encounters where nobody knows if they should wave. Everyone's here because they got the email. Emergency HOA meeting. Mandatory attendance. Financial irregularities. Those last 2 words spread through Maple Hollow like wildfire. The AG investigator sets up a projector. Patricia Gomez, the woman who's been living in my dining room, steps up to the microphone and introduces herself. She doesn't smile. Slide 1 shows my hallway footage of Lorna entering with the lockbox key, timestamp visible, my dog's tail wagging in the corner of the frame. Slide 2 shows screenshots of fines routed to MH Standards LLC, formed last year by Lorna Keane, registered agent Lorna Keane, sole member Lorna Keane. Slide 3 shows invoices from Vince's visual inspections with a 22% referral rebate to the same LLC. Vince is in the back row. He looks like he wants to melt into the floor. Slide 4 shows emails where Lorna instructs board members to peek through window blinds at twilight to verify interior hues. Margaret Chen is crying. Bob Whitmore has his head in his hands. Slide 5 shows the PayPal account with expedited processing fees. Slide 6 shows the bank account for MH Standards with withdrawals for personal expenses, including $4,000 at a spa in Scottsdale. The room erupts. People are shouting. Someone throws a clipboard. The management company announces termination for cause. Then the police step forward. Detective Marquez reads out the charges in a voice that could cut glass. Criminal trespass. Unlawful surveillance. Wire fraud. Conspiracy to commit theft by deception. Lorna tries to bluster. She stands up and says, "I am Maple Hollow with all the authority of a deposed dictator," but the microphone cuts out. For the first time in her reign, she meets a policy stronger than hers. The off switch. A judge places the HOA under a court-appointed receiver pending a forensic audit. Lorna gets perp-walked past the sample paint chips she used to use as weapons. Her conditions are read in open court. Surrender passport. No contact with any Maple Hollow residents. Full restitution of $83,000 in fraudulent fines. 500 hours of community service scraping gum from courthouse benches. And a 5-year ban on any HOA involvement anywhere in the state. The board members resign en masse. 3 of them take plea deals for kickbacks. Lorna stands there, her traffic cone haircut wilting under the courthouse lights, as the judge asks if she understands the terms. She nods once, and for the first time since I met her, Lorna Keane is completely, utterly silent.